Why would you open security cameras on campus after the entire student?
Because it's to protect us. And we're more eyes. More eyes.
I completely do not agree with you.
Cool.
Explain yourself.
So a lot of people have a lot to say about that.
Who is watching these can be accountable for what happens in information. You don't know if they are watching this. But they
Great. Let's. I'm going to take this person right over here. Thanks.
My issue and my concern with the security cameras on campus is that it's actually, it isn't much to do with the security cameras, but what the security cameras will further. And like, you know, I'm from the Bronx, and New York City police officers heavily harass people of color, students of color. People have repeated this many times, how people are profiled because of race and criminalized because of that. So when I come, what my issue is if I come back on campus and I feel like I'm in the Bronx, that's an issue. Like if security cameras are, no, I'm not gonna do it. Security cameras, like I'm on community council, and via Source as a Source liaison, and so I listened to Delroy. He gave an antidote of how security cameras are useful for keeping people for like suspicious people who were in the film photo building, who went on the PVTA bus, and then later, like, items were found because of the camera. Like, but the whole problem with that is that, you know, who is suspicious? Like, and this is a problem that even like happened before security cameras are on campus. Like, even after the assaults last year, I go into the gazebo, I'm questioned, oh, do you go to this campus? Hell yeah, I can go to this campus. Why you asking me that question? Like, right now, I'm just really angry, and I don't, like, if you're gonna talk about putting cameras on campus, talking about race, talking about criminalization is important. You cannot do it without it, because we are not gonna create these fucking systems of, like, system of oppressions. Hampshire is a unique community, but we're not there yet. We're a community in progress, so we can't talk about, like, shit that's happening offside of campus. We need to, like, consider what already happens on campus, what like, as far as racial profiling, as far as racism, period, sex, like, all the fucking isms. I'm sorry.
Will the council please direct this conversation in some sort of order? Because last I knew we were supposed to be directly addressing what Michelle was talking about, and people are bringing up all kinds of issues, and they're all important and good, but there's really no focus whatsoever.
What I've taken so far from the recommendations of the community is that the agenda that we prepared does not equate to what you guys would like to talk about. And so if we sit here, record what you guys have to say, and compile those into the general feeling of the community, that is what we will come out of this meeting with, is the statements made. And so it would be important if anyone feels like their voice hasn't been heard, if they have a very different opinion, say they're in favor of the cameras. We haven't heard many people that are in favor of the cameras today. And I mean, maybe there aren't, maybe there isn't anyone, but maybe there are. And so if those people are there and they want to get their voice heard, now would be an important time, because we have reached the hour mark. So I'm going to start right here.
Okay, getting your car broken into, like, really sucks. And getting mugged in a parking lot would really suck. And if those are the problems that we're concerned with, maybe the cameras could be used only, as she was saying, only if there's an incident reported that is linked to either one of those.
Could I point out the difference? Like, that's a really interesting point, because I think that's sort of, it'd be cool to talk about, in addition to people's concerns with whether we should have cameras, to also talk about concerns if we did have them. And an interesting thing to look at is proactive versus reactive. And what sort of solutions can we do as a campus? I would assume people want to be proactive. And you know, I've been trying not to like comment on anything, because we're just trying to moderate. But the monitoring, like looking at like monitoring as a reactive solution, like recording as a reactive solution, and is that the best way to do it? Or should we not have them, because cameras in general are reactive? You know, so those sort of things, if anyone that hasn't spoken yet, like, wants to talk about that.
Is there anyone that hasn't spoken yet that has their hand up?
Jenna.
Great.
Okay. One, I just want to preface this with saying I do not want to be speaking right now, but I have. And this is probably just bad timing, or I don't know what, but my car got fucked with on Saturday night. And that's really shitty, because, I don't know, no one wants to get their shit fucked with. And cars, yes, they are pricey. Cars also cost money, and people put investments into cars. And it's pretty, like, I kind of would like to feel safe knowing that, like, my car, that, like, it's okay and it's not gonna get fucked with. And if it does get fucked with, that, like, I can know who does that, because that's fucked up and it costs money. And, like, yes, okay, like, I understand there's so much to go with money, but, like, I don't